So Entertainment Weekly has released an article recently talking about behind the scenes look at the Fantastic Four first steps I thought would be appropriate to go into as we just saw the trailer drop for that movie. Now, let me go into the first part about this article because it's actually pretty good. The first part of the article is talking about the creation of the Fantastic Four, what their creators want them to be, why they differentiate between the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Justice League, that they're actually a real family. So I thought that going into the article for the first half was actually pretty decent. I actually liked some of it that they had here. My issue, though, for this article, though, comes in the later half where they reveal the darker parts of the movie that we're going to be seeing. Pretty much all estrogen all the time is pretty much what this film is going to be talking about. See, for Johnny Storm, they have made him into the feminine mold and not the feminine desire for a man. Don't believe me? Well, let's read into what Johnny Storm's star Joseph Quinn has had to say about the character. He's a man that leads with a lot of bravado, which can be an affront sometimes, but also he's funny, which sounds just fine. That statement alone, I have absolutely fine. If that's the only thing he said in this article, I would be a madman for making any complaints about that. Because, yes, Johnny Storm has a lot of bravado from what we saw in the 2005 film, and he does annoy Ben Grimm quite a bit, so that makes sense that he'd be a friend to some people, and yes, I did find him a bit comedic. So all those elements are true. My issue, though, comes in the next part of his statement here, when he's saying that him and Kevin Feige were speaking about the different iterations about the Human Torch, how he was branded as a womanizer, devil may care kind of guy. But is that sexy these days? Is that what the ladies want? And he says, I don't think so. Do you not know chicks? Like, they're always wanting the bad boy. They always want that kind of womanizer guy who kind of rejects them a little bit. It's a little bit toxic, I'll agree with that, but that's kind of what they're into. Like, have you not seen the smut books that they're reading all the time? There's a reason why those things fly off the shelf. There's a reason why 50 Shades of Grey is a bestseller. So I'm just saying, like, dude, you don't know dang about it. Like, I've never read any of those books, but just from looking from afar, I have a lot of sisters that do, so I can kind of understand why chicks would dig that stuff. So your idea of what would be sexy compared to the books for what women would be into doesn't seem to be working all that well. And it continues on with this statement saying, this version of Johnny is less callous with other people's feelings, and hopefully there's a self-awareness about what's driving that attention-seeking behavior. Like, what exactly you want to get from Johnny Storm at this point, because it doesn't make all that much sense to me, because what sounds like you're wanting him here is to be like people's therapist, like just that girlfriend right next to you that you can just give your heart out to and she gives you advice back. Like, what exactly is this? The reason why we love Johnny is that, well, he's a hothead, he's a jock, he's a showboater, he's someone in his 20s, he's still feeling himself, he's going wild and crazy, enjoying life as it is. So what exactly is this version of Johnny Storm that you're talking about here? It just seems like he's full of estrogen for no reason, but you know what? It's Martin Marvel, so are we all that surprised? Unfortunately, the estrogen takes it up a notch and then mixes it in with a bit of masculinity when we get Sue Storm. You see, for Sue Storm in this, she has helped achieve global demilitarization and world peace. I would like to ask, how did she manage to do that? May I remind you, this film is taking place in the 1960s with a retro future style to it. So unless you've forgotten, during the 1960s, we still had issues with Chairman Mao and Stalin. Like, what are we doing here? Like, these are two of the most murderous psychopaths in human history. How did you get those two men to demilitarize and bring about world peace? Like, it's one thing where you can say, like, we helped bring the civil rights movement to an end much faster due to Sue's emotional intelligence. Okay, maybe fine, that would work. But saying that you brought deglobalization and world peace in a time where the Cold War was getting close to its height, like, what the heck are you even talking about? That makes zero sense. Of course, you can make the argument, well, it's a parallel universe, Carl. It's supposed to be based on our world, okay? If you want me to be invested in this, you have to answer these questions for me, but they're not going to answer to them. film, they're going like maybe do a throwaway line item that the communist leaders have acquiesced to Sue's request for demilitarization and world peace. And how exactly are they able to do this? Well, you see how Reed is considered one of the smartest men in the world. Well, see, we can't have a woman being lesser than a man, so she has to be the most emotionally intelligent woman in the world, so they're on a level playing field with each other, which I'm okay with her having emotional intelligence, but to be the most emotional intelligent, I don't really know if that's part of the story. I've never seen that before. I have not read that many comics about the Fantastic Four, so I cannot say if that's a fact, but that seems a little bit unrealistic in my opinion. But hey, if you guys can correct me about that down in the comment section below, I would appreciate it. It just seems like a weird thing to throw at her as something that she has this great ability to bring people together, even if they're mass murderers. Now, from there, we go to the last issue we have with this article, and that is the Silver Surfette. Now, actually, they don't really mention Silver Surfette in this, but it's something that I want to at least touch on a little bit. So you're taking Silver Surfer and you turn it into a woman. Why exactly are you doing this? As far as I know, that's never happened in the comics before. Now, you might have an Elseworld story or a story that's off to the side that's not part of the main universe that might have happened. Okay, fine. But as far as I'm aware, I don't remember the Silver Surfer ever showing up as a female. Not when it's the first contact with the Fantastic Four, which this is supposed to be, which is where Galactus is coming down and they have to deal with it. Which, in my mind, is a horrible way to start the Fantastic Four. Like, Galactus is a galactic threat. That's when you're about to ready to head out into space. Like, I get it that the Fantastic Four got their powers when they were first going into space, but that should have been like the entry point, and then they deal with a whole bunch of Earth villains, and then you bring in the cosmic, and then you go out into space. We should have at least had a couple movies warming up to the Fantastic Four. Yes, the 2005 film and the 2007 film, great films, but it's been over 20 years. No, sorry. It has been no, it's been 20 years. Yeah, it's been 20 years since we saw those films. So give us some time to warm up to these characters before you throw us their greatest villain. Like, yes, I get that he is not the greatest villain because that goes to Doom, but Galactus, he is on another level. Like, he can just wipe out all planets without any issues. He is the devourer of worlds. He is a menace. So that should be something you use later on in the story, not up in front. So that's my issues. And unfortunately, the trailer from what I saw, it kind of lines up with this. It doesn't really give us a great vibe for Johnny Storm. He kind of seems a little low energy. He doesn't seem to have that much self-confidence. He doesn't seem to have that bravado that we love about him. He just seems dull is probably the best way I can put it. Pedro's being the wimpy ass that he always is. I mean, in this article, they don't really mention all that much because this is obviously Sue's movie. Like, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, it clearly is putting her front and center, that she's the one that confronts Silver Smurfette and is leading the team against Galactus. And Pedro Pascal, he was a great actor in Game of Thrones, and I heard people like him in The Last of Us. I haven't seen it, so I won't say much there, but he just seems like such a wimp in this role. Like, he doesn't really have the Reed gravitas that you need for it, at least in my opinion. Now, maybe I'm completely wrong on that, but it just doesn't feel right. And Ben Grimm, the thing, I like the look somewhat, but the voice, man, you can go with that deeper voice. Like, I like the thing from the 2005 film. That was way better in my personal opinion, but maybe that's just me. I would like to hear what you guys' thoughts on it down below. Do you think I'm completely wrong about my assessment here, that this is kind of just going to be Fantastic Four, the estrogen movie? Or do you think I'm kind of right that there's a lot to be concerned about where this movie is going? I look forward to hear your comments down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Y'all take care now. Bye.